A sense of unease is settling across the heartland today. You can feel it in the air, thick and heavy. A significant weather event is on the horizon, targeting a massive swath of the Midwest. We're talking about millions of people in its potential path, from the plains of South Dakota and Nebraska to the farm fields of Iowa and Minnesota. This isn't just a forecast for a few passing showers. This is a call to attention for what could be a powerful, fast-moving, and destructive storm system. The atmosphere is charged, primed for an explosion of severe weather that demands our respect and, more importantly, our preparation. It's a day to check on your neighbors, secure your homes, and have a plan ready to go. So, what exactly is this storm we are so concerned about? We're talking about a derecho. It's a weather term you may have heard before, and it's one you should never ignore. A derecho is not a single storm. It's a widespread, long-lived line of intense, fast-moving thunderstorms. Think of it as a roaring wall of wind and rain that marches across the landscape for hundreds of miles. The official definition requires the wind-damaged swath to extend more than 240 miles and include wind gusts of at least 58 miles per hour or greater along most of its length. Unlike tornadoes that have rotating winds causing intense localized damage, a derecho produces straight-line winds. These winds can be just as destructive as a weak to moderate tornado, but they occur over a much, much wider area. To understand why this storm has the potential to be so powerful, we need to look at the environment it's forming in. Right now, a massive heat dome is parked over the central United States. Think of it as a giant lid of high pressure in the atmosphere, trapping hot air at the surface. This has led to days of oppressive heat and, more importantly, incredibly high humidity. The air is thick. You can feel it when you step outside. That moisture in the air is pure, high-octane fuel for thunderstorms. The hotter and more humid the air, the more energy is available for a storm to tap into. Imagine a pot of water on the stove. The heat dome is the burner set to high, and the moisture is the water in the pot. All it takes is a trigger, a disturbance in the atmosphere like a weak cold front or an upper-level trough, to act as the spark that gets the water boiling violently. When a derecho strikes, the primary and most widespread threat is the wind. We are not talking about a brief gusty breeze. We are talking about sustained, damaging winds. Picture winds of 60, 70, or even over 80 miles per hour roaring across the landscape. These are winds strong enough to snap large tree limbs, uproot entire trees. But the danger doesn't stop with the wind. Derechos are also prolific rain producers, wringing out tropical moisture in the form of torrential downpours. We could see rainfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour, or even more, quickly leading to flash flooding, especially in urban areas where drainage systems can be overwhelmed. And while derechos are known for their straight-line winds, they can also produce tornadoes. Often, these tornadoes are brief and spin up quickly along the leading edge of the storm line. Finally, we have to talk about hail. The powerful updrafts within these thunderstorms can suspend raindrops high in the atmosphere where they freeze into large, destructive hailstones. The focus of this powerful storm system is squarely on a corridor through the upper Midwest. Based on the latest computer models and atmospheric analysis, the highest risk area appears to be centered on a path. That includes southern and eastern South Dakota, stretching across most of Nebraska and then continuing eastward into western and central Iowa, as well as southern Minnesota. The timing of this event is critical for preparation. We expect the first storms to begin developing over the western high plains late this afternoon. From there, the system is expected to congeal into a formidable line and accelerate eastward during the evening and overnight hours. This timing presents a unique and dangerous challenge. It is crucial to understand that even if your specific town is not in the bullseye of the highest risk zone, you are not necessarily in the clear. The damaging winds from a derecho can span a front that is hundreds of miles wide. Everyone in these 4 states should consider themselves at risk to some degree. The impact of a derecho extends far beyond the moment the storm passes. The most immediate and widespread consequence is the loss of electrical power. The combination of high winds and falling trees wreaks havoc on the power grid. It can take days, and in the hardest-hit rural areas, it could even take weeks for crews to repair the extensive damage. Travel becomes incredibly difficult, if not impossible. Major highways can be shut down due to overturned vehicles or debris scattered across the road. For those who travel by air, the disruption is immense. Airports in the path of the storm will likely face ground stops, delaying or canceling hundreds of flights. For the agricultural heartland, the timing of a summer derecho can be catastrophic. In late July, crops like corn and soybeans are tall, mature, and particularly vulnerable to high winds. A Derecho can act like a giant scythe, flattening entire fields in a matter of minutes, leading to devastating yield losses for farmers who have invested an entire season's work. When a storm of this magnitude is in the forecast, preparation is not just a suggestion, it is your best defense. The first thing every family should do is assemble an emergency kit. A battery-powered or hand-crank weather radio is one of the most important tools you can have. It will allow you to receive life-saving alerts even if the power is out. Next, you need to know your safe place. For a storm with high winds and potential tornadoes, the safest place to be is in a basement or an interior room on the lowest level. A small bathroom, a closet, or a hallway is a good option. Put as many walls as you can between yourself and the outside. Having multiple ways to receive weather alerts is absolutely critical, especially for a storm that will hit overnight. Do not rely on just one method. Charge all your devices, including portable power banks, well before the storm arrives so you can stay connected and informed. Finally, take some time this afternoon to secure your property. Bring in or tie down anything outdoors that could become a projectile in high winds. Park your vehicles in a garage if possible, or away from large trees that could fall. These simple, practical steps can make a huge difference in keeping everyone safe. To truly understand the destructive potential we are facing, we only need to look back a few years to August 2020. A powerful derecho carved a 770-mile path of destruction. It stands as the costliest thunderstorm disaster in United States history, causing an estimated $12.8 billion in damages. The winds in the 2020 derecho were exceptional, with widespread gusts of 70 to 90 mph. In some areas, winds peaked at an incredible 140 mph. These winds destroyed grain bins, caused catastrophic damage to homes and businesses, and destroyed the tree canopy of entire cities. Cedar Rapids alone lost an estimated 65% of its trees. The human impact was immense and long-lasting. Hundreds of thousands were left without power, some for more than 2 weeks in the sweltering August heat. For many residents, the storm was a deeply traumatic event, a terrifying experience of listening to their homes being torn apart around them. The 2020 derecho taught us that a thunderstorm warning can sometimes herald a disaster on the scale of a major hurricane, even hundreds of miles from any ocean. As we watch a similar atmospheric setup take shape today, the memory of 2020 should serve as our motivation to prepare and take every warning seriously. As we focus on the direct path of this dangerous storm, it's important to remember that the impacts will be felt far beyond the areas that see the most destructive winds. The same heat and humidity fueling the derecho are creating dangerous conditions across a much broader region. Heat index values can climb into the triple digits. This poses a significant health risk, especially for the elderly, young children, and anyone with pre-existing health conditions. Travel disruptions will also have a ripple effect. The storm system is tracking across some of the nation's key transportation arteries, including major interstate highways. Cancellations and delays at major hubs will cause a domino effect, stranding passengers and delaying flights in cities hundreds or thousands of miles away. For those living on the fringes of the storm's path, complacency is the enemy. It's crucial for everyone in the broader region to remain weather aware. A severe thunderstorm warning still deserves your immediate attention and action no matter where you are. This is a day to stay informed, stay connected, and look out for one another. The sky may look clear now, but the atmosphere is telling us a different story. A story of immense power waiting to be unleashed. Please, take the time now to go over your safety plan. Make sure your emergency kit is ready and your phones are charged. Listen to your local authorities and weather experts. By preparing today, we can face the storm tonight with the confidence of knowing we have done everything we can to keep our families and our communities safe.